Hey guys, it's Rachel from The Little Ring Lamb. Today I have a book review on The Matchmaker by Elin Hilderbrand. This is her summer release of 2014. I really enjoyed it and I flew through this book. So if you're new to my book reviews or just need a refresher, I rate my books in 5 different categories: plot, characters, cover, suspense, and overall. In terms of reading, again, very soon 5 out of 5, not so soon 1 out of 5. As well, it goes without saying this will be a spoiler-free review. No spoilers. Also, if I pronounce the author's name wrong, I'm really sorry. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it because I haven't heard anybody else say it. I've heard people say it both ways, so if I'm pronouncing it wrong, sorry about that. But basically, this book is told in differing narratives, just like a lot of Hilderbrand's books. And this one's basically centers, I'm trying to look at the back because I don't want to spoil it because I've read it, but basically it centers on Dabney Kimball Beach, and she is very popular on the island of Nantucket for her matchmaking ability. She just has something about it that really makes the couples last in most circumstances. She's matched 42 couples and has never been wrong. That is except for herself and Clendon Hughes. He left 27 years ago. They were high school sweethearts and were madly in love, and he left to go on a voyage. And now he's back on Nantucket after 27 years, and Dabney is feeling a little confused, of course. But when tragedy strikes, I'm just going to read this little paragraph off the back. Dabney must face the choices she's made and share painful secrets of her family. Determined to make use of her gift before it's too late, she sets out to find perfect matches for those she loves most. So this book was really good. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I was like, whenever I read the descriptions of books, I'm like, but then I get into it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I give a 4 out of 5. This isn't my favorite Elin Hilderbrand book, but it's definitely up there. I really enjoyed it. It's like not the lowest, but not the highest point of like if I was rating her books that I've read in the entirety. But I really enjoyed how the plot moved. I loved the interwoven, what was I going to say, perspectives. I especially liked how you're reading one person's perspective, it would switch to another's and you'd want to get back to that person's, but then when the one perspective ended, that you want to get back to the next person's, you want to know theirs. So, like, you kept wanting to know what everybody was thinking and feeling about certain situations. And I really liked the testimonials you got in the book from couples that Dabney had matched up. So we had stories from, like, it'd say couple 11, blank, and to tell how they kind of got matched up by Dabney. And I thought that was very nice to see some testimonials, not just to hear, oh, I matched 42 people, but to actually experience, or not experience, but kind of go along with the tale and see how these two people end up together because of Dabney. And I really just liked how the plot progressed. It got really dark, it got really sad, it got really hopeful. It was just a melting pot of emotions. And characters, I give a 5 out of 5. I really loved the characters in this book. Yes, they were flawed, just like everybody else in this world. We all have our flaws. But the thing was, in this book, they executed them pretty nice. Like, they have some themes that some of the characters do stuff that a lot of people disagree with, including myself. But at the same time, I'm trying not to spoil this. I'm being very vague. I really apologize for that if you're a little lost what I'm saying. But I like how all the characters, they go through hardships, but there's always that hope lingering, and it's that hope lingering that really keeps the reader wanting to know what's going to happen to all these characters. You become attached to them. My favorite characters, I would say one of them was Dabney. At first, I was kind of like iffy about her character, but I really enjoyed her character throughout the way, like reading about her. And then Clendon, I really liked his character, and Agnes, and those are my 3, I would say, favorite characters, as well as, oh my gosh, I always forget his name. One second, guys. It starts with an R, I'm pretty sure. Riley. I was going to say Ryan, but I knew that was wrong. And Riley. I really liked those 4 characters, as well as Nina. Yeah, those 5 I would say were my favorite collectively. And I just really liked how all the characters kind of knew each other, some kind of familiarity. There's definitely characters I didn't really like, but I still give it a 5 out of 5 because there's good character development. And I really did care about where all the characters were placed, even the ones I didn't like as much. I didn't like Box as much. Like, he was okay. And I didn't really like Elizabeth either. She was really annoying. And, like, I understand why she did what she did, but it was kind of like, yeah, it was annoying. If you're rooting for the main character, you know what I mean. So anyway, moving on from that long, rambled speech just about the characters, we go to cover. Cover, I give a 3 out of 5. The cover I'm not too crazy over. I think the back cover's color is just stunning. I'm not a big, like, I love the color green, but I'm not, like, the biggest fan of it. because it's not like my favorite color. But I really do enjoy the color green, and especially this shade. It's just a really pretty shade. It looks really nice with a glossy like cover. The spine's pretty good. Just the front's kind of bland. It's just like kind of like any beach read kind of. It's not too exciting. I liked the hardcover one, how it had the girl with the kite. I'm forgetting my words today. Sorry guys about that. With the kite, I found that was more like visually appealing, but it's not a bad cover, just like average. It's not too bad. It's not horrible, but it's not like, whoa, that's a beautiful cover. You know what I mean? Anyway, suspense, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. The suspense is really good. It took a little while to get into the book. That's why I give it a little bit of a lower score. But once you get into and you get all their perspectives, you want to know what happened. And I kind of guessed a little bit about what was going to happen in the end. I kind of had a feeling. If you read Elin Hilderbrand's books, sometimes they have kind of not the same event happen necessarily, but you kind of have not, I wouldn't say, because like Sarah Desson, kind of some of her books have like kind of a formula. Like you could kind of apply the formula, but they're so good that you just keep reading them. And Elin Hilderbrand has a little bit of a formula, but always is more of a twist than a formula, I would say. Whereas Sarah Desson's is like, girl has issue, meets boy, they fall in love, they have a fight, they get back together kind of thing. Not all her books had that, but I found a few of them, and I've heard people say that as well. And she has a kind of formula, but it twists, and it's like, whoa, where is this going? In her books, you have some suspense, and you have some mystery, like you want to know what's going to happen, and some drama, intrigue. It's just really good. And overall, I give this book a 4.5 out of 5. I definitely read this again. It's definitely a summery read, but usually I end up reading them in winter because I'm longing for the summer, especially when it's snowing crazily, and I do not want to go outside and shovel because I do not like shoveling, like a lot of other people. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this book. It was a really good read over the weekend, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.